let's jump right into something that's got everybody talking.
Yeah.
Who will be the next king of the Champions League?
Oh, man, that's a big question.
It is a big question.
Especially, now that we've closed the chapter on the Messi Ronaldo era. I mean, they defined what it meant to be,
A generation.
Yeah, a generation of football.
Absolutely. And it feels like into that void step, these two phenoms, Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland.
It does.
And,
Yeah.
you've asked for a deep dive on their burgeoning rivalry. And we've got the Champions League data to see if we can crown a future king or at least, see how their journeys are stacking up so far.
Yeah, and one thing that's really striking is just how they kind of both exploded on the scene at such a young age doing these things that, most players only dream of.
Okay, so let's talk about early career because these milestones are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Haaland becoming the first player ever to score a first-half hat trick on his Champions League debut.
I mean, that's...
At 19 years old.
I know, come on.
I'm not sure I even knew what I wanted for breakfast at 19.
Right.
Let alone dismantle a professional defense like that.
Yeah, and think about the psychological impact, too. I mean, you're on the other side of the pitch, this young kid in his very first Champions League outing not only scores a hat trick, but does it before halftime.
Gone.
It's a statement.
Before you even blink.
It's like, I'm here to stay. I'm a force to be reckoned with. Yeah. And that kind of start can really, I think, light a fire under a young player's career.
Absolutely. It's like, nice to meet you. I'm here to score goals.
Right.
Lots of them.
A lot of them.
And then he goes and breaks the record for the fastest to 20 Champions League goals, needing only 14 appearances.
It's crazy.
Mbappe hit that same mark.
Yeah.
It took him 37 appearances.
Yeah.
Still impressive.
Yeah,
but
of course.
Haaland's efficiency is just absurd.
It speaks volumes, I think, about his killer instinct in the box, Yeah. That almost predatory sense of where to be and when.
And they were basically kids when they hit those milestones.
Oh, no, it's crazy.
Surpassing 20 Champions League goals before age 21.
Yeah.
The only player even close in recent history is Benzema with 12 at that age.
Right.
And he's no slouch.
No, he's not.
It puts into perspective how much these two have already achieved in such a short time.
For sure.
So their early careers, astonishing, but their journeys have taken different paths in some way. Let's get into the tail of the tape here. What do their overall Champions League stats look like side by side?
Okay, so in terms of appearances, Mbappe is ahead 75 to Haaland's 41. But keep in mind, Haaland is 3 years younger, and he's actually scored more goals in those fewer appearances, 42 to Mbappe's 49. So it's incredibly close. And while we're looking at goals, we got to mention Mbappe's playmaking.
Oh, yeah, he's got those assists.
26 assists in the Champions League compared to Haaland's 5.
That's a really good point. I mean, you think about it, we're talking about two guys known for speed and scoring.
Right.
But their styles on the pitch are totally different.
Totally.
Mbappe seems so much more willing to create for others to really orchestrate that attack.
Yeah.
And then you have Haaland, who's just like that direct, almost,
finisher.
Pure finisher, yeah.
Mbappe's often drifting out wide, using that blistering pace and those dribbling skills to create chances for himself and his teammates. I mean, you remember that counterattack he had against Bayern a couple seasons ago?
Oh, come on.
Just left some of the best defenders in the world in the dust.
Like they were standing still.
That was like watching a video game or something.
Okay, so speaking of speed, who actually clocks in faster?
Well,
I have to imagine these two are giving Usain Bolt a run for his money.
In a League One match a few years back, Mbappe hit a top speed of 38 kilometers per hour.
Okay.
Which is actually faster than Bolt's average speed when he set the 100-meter world record.
Oh, right. Faster than Usain Bolt on a football pitch?
Yeah.
With a ball at his feet? That's just not fair.
Haaland's no slouch either, though. He's been clocked at a blazing 36.3 kilometers per hour in the Bundesliga.
So we're talking, fractions of a second separating these two speed demons.
Fractions of a second.
No wonder defenders have nightmares about these guys.
Oh, absolutely. That raw pace is just, it translates into this explosiveness that's almost impossible to defend against. And especially when you factor in, their decision-making at those speeds. It's
different.
It's different.
Now, I'm curious, have these two titans ever clashed directly in the Champions League?
They have, actually.
Right.
Back in the 2019-2020 season.
Okay.
During the round of 16, Haaland's Borussia Dortmund went head-to-head with Mbappe's Paris Saint-Germain.
Oh, I remember this one.
It was must-watch TV.
Okay, so walk me through this. What were the highlights?
The first leg in Dortmund was electric. Haaland stole the show, bagging 2 goals to secure a 2-1 victory for Dortmund.
So advantage Haaland early on. Did Mbappe get his revenge in the second leg?
He did.
Right.
A fired-up PSG turned the tables in Paris, winning 2-0 to take the tie 3-2 on aggregate.
Man.
Mbappe was actually dealing with a knock, so he came on as a substitute.
Wow.
But his impact was undeniable.
Even coming off the bench, a difference maker?
Yeah.
That's got to fuel the rivalry even more.
Oh, for sure.
Each one trying to one-up the other on the biggest stage.
And there's another thing to their Champions League journeys, too, that adds another, layer to this comparison.
Okay.
Haaland, despite his young age, already has a Champions League title.
Oh, that's right.
Winning it with Manchester City.
Wow.
In the 2022-2023 season.
He did it before either Messi or Ronaldo did to win a Champions League. At such a young age, that's got to sting for Mbappe just a little.
I mean, it's got...
Right.
Mbappe's reached the semifinals multiple times, but that trophy still eludes him.
Yeah.
It just goes to show how difficult it is to win this competition.
It really does.
Even for the best players.
Okay, so we've got these 2 generational talents leaving their mark on the Champions League in different ways, different paths to this point.
Right.
But what do they think about this constant comparison? Everybody's drawing between them. I mean, they have to be sick of hearing it, right?
You know what, though? Both of them have been really grounded in their responses.
Okay.
They acknowledge the comparisons, but they emphasize their own journeys.
Oh, yeah. Do you remember any of the specific quotes?
Yeah. Haaland once said, and I quote, "I don't like to compare myself with others. I think you need to be your own player." But he went on to say, "The media has been doing that with Ronaldo and Messi for the last 10 years, and they've been pushing each other as well. I think it's been a positive thing."
It's really refreshing to see that level of, maturity, self-awareness.
Yeah.
Especially at such a young age. He's not shying away from it, but he's also not letting it become a distraction.
Right. And Mbappe has said similar things. He once said, "It's the beginning for him. I'm happy for him for what he's doing." But then he kind of, subtly highlights his own strengths when he says, "However, I didn't just play up front. I play left and right. In all modesty, I don't think anyone is capable of changing a position like that every year and maintaining a great performance at the highest level."
So both acknowledging it's going to happen, these comparisons are inevitable, but they're so focused on forging their own paths, defining their own legacies.
Exactly.
It's not Mbappe versus Haaland. It's Mbappe becoming the best Mbappe he can be, and Haaland becoming the big Haaland.
And that's what makes this era so exciting. I mean, we're not just witnessing a rivalry.
Right.
We're witnessing the evolution of football greatness.
We're watching history in real time.
We are.
So the million-dollar question, the one that everybody wants to know, who will be the next king of the Champions League?
Well,
will it be Mbappe with his electrifying pace and that versatility, or Haaland, the goal-scoring machine who's already conquered Europe?
I mean, that's the beauty of it, right? There's no easy answer. There's no crystal ball.
It's too close to call.
We can analyze their stats all day long. We can dissect their playing styles, but their legacies are still being written.
But we get to see it happen.
Exactly.
And to have these 2 guys at this level pushing each other, pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
It is incredible.
That's got to be good for the sport.
Absolutely elevates everyone's game. I mean, we're going to see a level of competition and excitement that we haven't seen since Messi and Ronaldo were battling it out.
And think about the narratives, the drama, the individual battles, the goals. They'll be on highlight reels for years to come.
I know.
We as fans are pretty lucky.
We're lucky to have front row seats to this.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one thing you really want our listener to take away from all of this?
I want them to savor every moment.
Yeah.
Every goal, every display of skill, every breathtaking run. Because these players, they're special.
They are.
And they're just getting started.
Who knows? Maybe one day we'll look back on this era as the Mbappe Haaland era, just like we talk about the time of Messi and Ronaldo.
It's possible.
But until then, I'll be glued to my screen, enjoying every second of it.